Yeah.
Sooner than later, you know?
We got room in our place. We got a ranch, and we're building another house on the side right now.
That's
for
great.
people to come and see us more.
That's great. Oh, Pato is a filmmaker, so he loves to take just glimpses.
I have probably 1,000 or more. I don't know. I'm the filmmaker.
You are the one in your house, huh?
I told him today, I said, we could watch every film that I make and I won't be here anymore. And it's true.
So you're me in your family.
Yes, I am. I have all the old VHS, you know, probably 1,000
Yeah,
VHS.
I started shooting with VHS.
Yeah. In Guaymas, I probably have every whale, every shark, everything you can think of that ever swam. And in Guaymas, I have it from 1960s when there used to be a lot of fish there.
Wow.
Now most of them are gone, but
Well, they hate me for it because I'm always with the camera. Do
I know they tell me that too.
Do they
You're
hate
gonna-
you too?
Yeah.
Because we're always shooting video.
I know. I say you're gonna be happy someday.
Exactly. That's
And every time I show them, every time I show them the movies, they're all happy.
That's what I tell them.
Yeah.
They're gonna be happy one day.
Yeah. Just don't let it slide. Now I'm trying to watch them all so I can send them to everybody who's right there.
It's up to you, is what I'm saying.
Hola.
¿Entendiste lo que hablamos de los videos familiares? Dice que él es el yo de su familia.
Oh.
El que se la lleva tomando video y que a todo el mundo
Eres el.
I used to live in Nogales.
y que a todos les choca que tome video, pero él lo sigue haciendo.
No, sí, son recuerdos a futuro. Son
Most of the
verlos.
people I knew back then were all Mexican when I was young. All Mexican children, because I was always in mining towns in
O sea,
Arizona.
es algo muy bonito que va a quedar para la posteridad. Muchos recuerdos.
Sí.
Aunque se enojen ahorita, ¿no?
Aunque se enojen ahorita.
No les hagas caso.
También tú te enojas, ¿verdad? No les hago caso.
No les hagas caso. Tú sigue todo,
Entonces sí
filmando.
te gusta que te entreviste.
Vuelven los famosos.
No te molesta que te entreviste.
No, bueno, depende.
bueno.
Depende de lo que preguntes.
Depende de las preguntas. ¿A ti?
No, a mí, tú sabes que la cámara es mi amiga.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
The resentment. You're beautiful taking pictures, you know.
Sí.
Everybody gives me a hard time. I'm always taking you.
Me too.
Oh, you should have been right now in this conversation, by the way.
Why?
Oh, it's so interesting. He's talking about himself and his family. He's like
Oh, yeah.
about and related to Lucas and his personality. So it's really interesting.
So you also were very interested in things that other kids didn't, or?
Oh, yeah. And when I was a young boy, I learned I read a short book about psychology, and I got into people's mind about how the world works, and it's been a constant thing for me all my life, trying to understand what's happening, because I was such an unhappy child. I'm not saying I was always unhappy, because I did play and I had a good time, but I was alone, very alone. My father was a good man. He didn't drink. My mother was an alcoholic, but he worked only.
Just dedicated to work.
Dedicated to work. And so my grandfather is the one who really helped me along, but he was a cowboy, strong cowboy, and very authoritarian. And he would say, I would be like, try to hammer nail, and he would say, good, you know, you don't know how to hit that nail, you give me that hammer, you know, like that kind of thing. So everything I did was wrong, even though I loved him, and he was the one that was with me. My grandmother, I don't even hardly remember her.
Why do you think he was like that with you?
Why? Well, my mother's alcoholic, so she's a very unhappy person. And my father works all the time. So I just didn't pay much attention, you know? So I never had friends. I moved from one town to another, and most of the people were Mexican because it was mining towns. Douglas, Globe, Nogales, you know, all the mining towns, and mostly Mexicans were working the mines at those
What was your
times.
relationship with the Mexicans?
I never really got to know them very much. I was there 3 months only.
Oh.
And so I was the new kid at school all the time, you know. You know how that feels. Yeah, it's really hard. You walk in the door and you don't know nothing. they start telling you something new about arithmetic or something. You don't even know what they're talking about.
And the second you're starting to get someone, you're already moving
Yeah.
to another place, right?
Yeah, I'm already moving to the next town, so I never really could get solid, you know.
Yeah, solid relationships.
Yeah.
Friends.
I can deal extremely well with what he's going through. Yeah, extremely well.
Yeah,
Like when somebody would say something about something I was interested in, man, I was all over it. You know, but I just didn't have that many opportunities. But boy, if somebody got on outer space, something like that, man, they were my best buddy. And there was a couple other things, and the psychology thing, because I really got into human at a real early age. I started thinking about the mind and how people work. And,
exactly. Just like Lucas. Lucas was like 4 years old and he started to ask us, hey, what's inside our bodies?
yeah, exactly.
How it works? How does this machinery work?
Yeah.
Right? So he has like really good thinking. His train of thought is really fast.
Yeah. It takes you a long time. I mean, it took me a long time. It took me, like I said, early 20s before I finally was forced into realizing that I have to do something.
Yeah.
To do something. But I never had a psychologist or anything. I just had to figure it out for myself. And all of a sudden, start doing that. People wanted to learn about skating. I knew about skating.
That you know how
So
to
now I feel comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
But I can't feel comfortable with anything else. You want me to teach you Spanish? No. No. You want me to teach you something else? No.
history, whatever, no.
Yeah, you want-
Roller skating.
yeah, a simple little thing like that. And he will find something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
There'll be something.
And you thrived at it.
Yeah. Build the Titanic. Somebody wants to build the Titanic with him, he would be all over it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You will be in.
You got to find that interest in some way that he can get into that for a life, Not just the Titanic
Yeah.
to build it here, but that's the stepping stone. Yeah.
I think Tray is really good with him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is Tray good with those type of kids?
He's excellent with young people. Well, he's excellent with everybody. So that's a good.
Well, if Trey wants to come here and learn Spanish, he is very welcome to stay with us.
Actually, I told Tray, le dije, Tray, ¿por qué no vienes con propósito? Come with a purpose. Le digo, take like a class in Universidad de Sonora, in the university, and specialize in something for 6 months or whatever, and just come with a purpose, and you can stay with us, you know, or not. Maybe if he wants to just.
He could probably do that.
And he is really welcome if he wants to stay with us. He's really welcome. I
He would do a lot of good. I know that.
I mean it.
He's you know, in Mexico's going to be a new China. I believe that. I know it's going to be.
Don't be shy.
They're going to be making all over the world. They're going to be building the wall.
It is. It definitely is. That's why I'm asking you, because you've got a good head on your shoulders. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is. So you do.
Yeah, sure.
Lucas. Go ahead. Why do you think you have a good head on your shoulders?
Well, I don't know. He said that. I did.
But you agree or just yeah, you agree.
I don't know. I'm just making a gesture. I'm not agreeing. I'm not saying yeah.
Well, you did say yeah, though. I mean, I'm gonna catch you in that one.
I don't know.
No, but why? It's a good question. Like, why do you? Okay.
It
Another
depends on your
question.
peers.
Another question is like, how often do you have these kind of conversations with people your age?
Basically, no.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so why do you think that you have these ideas and you don't talk to your peers about them?
Because they won't understand it. They wouldn't get it. They would just think it's weird. Or,
And so why do you get it?
I don't know. That kind of ties in with this, like, also reincarnation, and it ties in with a lot of things.
And you think that it's genes?
Maybe epigenetic.
Or
Maybe.
also let's say, do you think it was nature or nurture?
I mean, it could have been both.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Do you think that one has more of an impact than the other?
Yeah, I actually, I don't completely agree with the science side of how we are made.
make, but not the biblical side either. Like,
Yeah,
we're made
it's-
from
it's
nothing that
both.
doesn't make sense,
Mhm.
right? So my theory is that imagine a human is like God, right?
Mhm.
And whatever God creates is like, for example, bread. You can make bread that would be, I don't know, a human's bread, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't make bread out of nothing. No other animal, no other human or life conscious thing. Imagine animals like dogs and
Yeah.
rats. They're all humans and they're all people. They can't make bread,
Mm-hmm.
and we can make bread, and we have the idea of bread.
The
But
abstraction.
we can't make bread out of nothing. We need ingredients. So
Right.
that's where, you know, the biblical side and the evolutionary side sort of tie in for me.
Yeah.
Because you can't make bread out of nothing. So I think evolution is God's way of making us.
Mhm.
Because you can't make a bread out of nothing. You can't make, humans never made anything out of nothing. You know?
So do you think the universe is God?
In a way, yeah. But also his recipes.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm. Good way to put it.
All the animals that relate to the ecosystem that contribute towards like the birds have to germinate, you have to like pollinate things and bugs, like everything plays a
Everything
part.
relates, yeah.
Yeah, everything plays a part.
Then how about this? Do you think that humans are divine?
No, not really. I mean, we're just a product of God or evolution, however, or both, you know, or the same thing, you know, of the recipe.
Yeah.
You know, we're just a byproduct of that. Like, for example, have you heard the story of the cookie?
The cookie.
It was an accident. The cookie was not intended to exist. They wanted a chocolate chip cookie, you know? The baker wanted to make the chocolate melt inside, but it never melted. And that's how it became a chocolate cookie. That's the story of the chocolate cookie. So
Wow.
maybe we are an accident.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
just
we weren't
complete
supposed to
accident.
exist. Yeah, but we're a good accident, or maybe a bad accident. Who knows?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
Hey, it's all up to you again. Like, you know, we can build the Death Star. You better
Yeah.
build the Life Star. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, it's up to you, okay?
Yeah.
We're just gonna put, you know, if you need, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a good theory. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really cool though. I mean, even the concept of a Life Star, like I've never heard anyone talk about that, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
It was like a mind-boggling thing for me. No one's ever mentioned that.
Yeah, just like the opposite of like.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so what do you think? Do you think that if there is a God, do you think that God is intelligent?
Well, who knows? Maybe he's all knowing, but if you know everything, then who is to say you don't know anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like saying if you're happy all the time, who's to say you're not depressed all the time?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So what do you think though? Do you think that if there is a God, do you think that they are intelligent?
Who knows what God really is? You know? We can't see him, you know, anything with him, but we can see his recipes. It's like an animal. If you give some bread to a pigeon, the pigeon is like the human. You'll never know. You know, the pigeon won't remember you or really see you as, you know, almighty. But the pigeon is just there and is taking your bread.
It's taking the materials.
Yeah, it's taking
Just
your
like
bread
we're taking
and
the
enjoying the
materials.
bread. Yeah. The pigeon won't see you like they say, oh, thank you or whatever, unless it's like a really good pigeon. But it will take the bread and it will take your figs, you know?
Yeah.
If you give it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of my way of saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, what about the different kinds of gods? You know, there's been lots of
Yeah,
different
yeah.
gods throughout time. So there's, you know, the Greek gods
Yeah,
and
or our interpretation
Right.
of them. Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, from a lot of the perspective of our world, there's the God that is all-knowing and all-seeing and
Yeah, yeah.
all-powerful, right?
Yeah.
And so, what do you think about the gods that are from like the Greek and Roman times? Have you ever heard of talked about them at all?
Actually, I think my mom has a book just about them.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
she
awesome.
has a big book about just Roman gods and Roman history and Roman things.
Yeah, yeah, they're super interesting,
Yeah.
and they're not always all powerful and,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
knowing. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
Why do you think that people came up with these gods that weren't all powerful and all knowing before?
Because we didn't know, so we had to come up of an idea
Mhm.
of 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 why things happen.
Yeah.
And so for example, science isn't really real. It's just our idea or our way of making sense out of things that don't make sense.
Interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, black holes, we completely break down our laws of physics. So
Right.
either our laws of because there's not really any laws to the universe. We all made it up just to make sense of the confusion. That was the weirdness.
But there are laws of physics at the Planck level. So like if you have like they make sense at this level, and then when you really shrink things down, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. But so if you take into account that they do make sense at this level, then does that make it more real?
Sort of. I don't know. It's weird.
I guess maybe it's weird, like real for who, right? Because I mean, these things are real for us.
Yeah.
But then if I was this micro Planck level,
Yeah.
you would say, oh well, that's not real for me because time doesn't work the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing works.